Hello everyone, Shannon from Shannon Feeling Crafty here. I'm just going to wait a second for somebody to come on and then I'll get started on this holiday wreath. Whoops. Trying to look at my iPad to get the comments better because the phone is very small, but sometimes it doesn't like to work. So we will see. Okay. I am going to get started now. This is only the second time I'm trying something like this. This is a Unique in the Creek character board. And it has room in the middle to put a sign, a vinyl sign, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And in addition to that, hold on, I can't find the, in addition to that, I will make a design with it. From Shannon Feeling Crafty. Whoops, here. That's me. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Joanne. Nice to see you. If you see me looking over here, I'm trying to get the comments on my iPad. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't want to. It's not working right now. So I'll try again in a few minutes. Anyway, I'll try to see my comments up there. The ring light makes it kind of hard. So after I put this in, I'm going to use the mesh here on my Made by Monroe Designs curl holder, which is like my favorite thing on earth. And I'm going to use a black, red, and white to match the buffalo check. And this is a snowy white right here that I'm going to use as well. I pre-curled them. I may or may not use these little berries. And I'm going to use 2 ribbons, a buffalo check, and this, which I love, these Santa hats with the buckles and the gold. And I think I'm going to put a jingle bell on each one. So let me set this back up. I turned it down. I don't know why it doesn't want to let me see you. All right, so I'm just going to look up here, even though it's going to be hard to see. Thank you, Rosie. So if you come in, please say hi. I'm going to try to see your comments, but like I said, that ring light is really shining down. I think I'm going to scoot this a little closer. Hopefully it won't fall off. All right, there, that's a tiny bit better. Whoops. So I did this once before, like I said. I made Easter bunny, and it stresses me out because I only have one of these. And it's a vinyl, it's like a sticker. Hold on, let me try to pull it up. And so if I mess up, I have to get a new sticker. So the way I learned to do it is to spray the water on the character board, because what the water will do is it will allow you to, you love my shirt, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Somebody gave it to me that I really, really care about. So I'm gonna put this on the water and hopefully I won't have to reset it too much. And then I have this little doohickey here to scrape it with to get the bubbles out. I actually chose this because my sister Cassandra, who you're watching me from your command center. Thank you for sharing, Paul. My sister Cassandra buys everything that says joy. I see her. She's in the she's watching now. And so when I was looking on the Unique in the Creek website for vinyl signs, because I really enjoyed using the one that I did, I saw this and was not looking for a joy sign, but howdy Cassie. But I got it because it made me think of her. So I'm gonna hold it up now. I'm pretty sure I put it on right. They're made for these character boards. I don't know, I heard somebody say that if you really want it, you could put them on a wood round. I haven't really thought about that yet. So I don't know if I'm liking that ring light. Is that ring light bothering you? I won't mess it up, thank you. So it's attached now. So from here, I'm gonna go about adding the mesh. I will tell you one thing about adding the mesh to a character board is Unique in the Creek boards are really made for zip ties. Like, it's easiest to use zip ties. But if I'm adding ribbons to something, then I have a very hard time using zip ties, or maybe I would have to use more than one. So all eyes on you. Hello, welcome. So I'm going to turn this over because I learned, and I don't know if this is true or not, that if you put the zip ties in from the back, it's easier. I have never done this, and it could be a colossal failure. I really don't know. So I'm going to try to use these little tiny... Hi, Susan. I'm going to try to use these little tiny zip ties. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to put them in like this because they're so small that they will go through the holes. So I'm doing every other one because they're really close together. So I'm doing the outer two holes, if you can see. The outer two holes I'm putting the zip ties through right there. Yay, you. Oops, outer two holes. Bad Shannon. I know what I'm talking about. I got really distracted before this live started, so I'm like a little bit weirder than normal. It works really well putting in from front to back. I have used Unique in the Creek so much, but I've never done this before in my life. And I saw a few people do it when they were doing tutorials with Unique in the Creek, and I was like, why didn't anybody tell me this secret before? So hopefully I didn't put any in backwards. That's unlikely because I think I always do. Well, look at that. It's very fancy. I feel like I have a little table. Maybe I'll do this. So I am going to alternate just on the outside. I made these little curls right here, and I'll show you how to make one because that's really what I should have done. But I'm going to put this one in now because it's in my hand. They're kind of a cruffle, but kind of like really tight to be a cruffle, if you know what I'm talking about. I had mesh to like show you, and now it's lost. Oh, here it is. So here's the snowy mesh. It's cut at about 20 inches maybe. So I'm going to find my scissors that are lost on my table and curl this. Maybe I'm gonna just eyeball it. Some people put a roll in it. I'm gonna curl this maybe 4 or 5 times. I'm gonna put a clip on it so I don't mess it up too much. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And then I'm just gonna scrunch them together. So here's my board. I'm gonna put this every other. And I'm going to do this again in the shared hole and the top hole. So when I do that, that's when I'm gonna put my ribbon on. And it's gonna be a pain because, like I said, I don't usually do that with zip ties. I'll get rid of my little thing there. So far we have one of the black and one of the white, and I'm just gonna go around pretty quickly to get them put in. And then I will try so hard to do everything at the same time when I put the next batch in. Please say hello if you haven't already so I can see that you're here and see your comments and suggestions. I really went back and forth with this design and what mesh I was going to use and what ribbon I was going to use, and I was harassing my sister Cassie about it so much. And you know what? When it gets like that, you just have to simplify it. You're just making it too complicated when it gets like that. So I can always add something later if I don't love something about this. So I'm trying to pull these down a little because I'm putting another curl on top of them right here. But when I was practicing, they were laying down nicely after I put the second curl in. So if you missed me talking about my little curl holder here, this is made by Monroe Designs, and Carla's Clever Crafts told me about it. They have a single and a double, and I love it so much because you can pre-make your curls and then go back and put everything together, which for me is a huge help. I gotta say, I really liked putting in the zip ties in from the back. Whoever invented that idea, whether it was Lori or somebody else, like, I just am really loving that. I might have put these curls too close together, I'm not gonna lie. I might have made them a little too close together. I don't know, we'll see. I was going with it. All right, so this is my outside row. And that's just really how it looks with the outside row of curls. I know that the joy is backwards. It's just the weird way it is. I don't know why. I do not see any comments anymore. Is anybody still there? If you are still there, please say hello because I do not see any comments at all. All right. So I'm going to take these out. I'm going to do that super duper fancy thing again. This is my zip tie gun. Just going to use that to tighten them a little more and cut them off. Cassie, if you're still there, can you say something? Because, oh, there you are. Thank you for the heart. If you see the hearts on the bottom of your screen, like by the comments, and you hit a whole bunch at the same time, sprinkling, it actually helps me to get seen, my video. So if you're in the mood, if you could do that, that would be so awesome. All right, so I got them all, and I'm just gonna spread the curls out after if I don't like the way they look. All right, so I'm gonna put it upside down. Thank you for the sprinkles, whoever that is. I'm gonna put it upside down and try that again. So I'm going to do, if you can see right here, I'm going to do the shared hole with the other hole here. This is gonna be the inside row. And this is the part where it's gonna get tricky because I'm gonna have my mesh, my ribbon, and my jingle bell all ready to go in at the same time, which I just don't feel like, I don't know. It's gonna be complicated for me, I gotta admit. So Cassie, you're gonna have to let me know. I don't know what I'm doing. You're gonna have to let me know if you like it as it goes on. I mean, I'm still gonna make it, but let me know. I'm gonna do it like this. I really, when I put these zip ties in, I do not put them all in the same and cannot even remember from one zip tie to the next how I did the last one. So just know that it's okay if you're an unorganized mess when you're crafting. You can still make beautiful things. Right now, I have little pumpkins and squash and leaves under my table because I was making a fall wreath earlier today. I just don't feel like going under there to get them. So it's fall under my table right now. If anyone else hops on, please say hello. Feel free to ask any questions or offer any suggestions. So there I have the next row of zip ties in, and you will see I did one of them totally differently, so I'm going to try that one again. So I don't like that it's different. Okay, so I'm going to alternate again. And I'm going to do the red and black here and the white here. But I have to get the ribbons together and these jingle bells together. I was digging through my jingle bell bin today, and I discovered that I have an excessive amount of jingle bells. It's ridiculous. So there are my jingle bells. Here's my ribbon. Who just came on? Cassandra. It still says Cassandra Bellarillo. So I don't know if she's the only one that's saying hello to me right now, or if it's just like frozen for me. I don't know. So if you ever opened a ribbon roll and thought the part that's supposed to be the top doesn't look as good as the other part, well, that's how I'm going with this buffalo check, because the part they have on the outside I don't like. So I am going to cross them over like this. Get my handy dandy piece of mesh. Put the ribbon on the mesh. Stick them in here together. I don't know, this is very exciting because it's so hard. I'm sticking them in here together, and I'm going to put a gold jingle bell right here. Whoops. Right through this hole, if I can get it in there, and zip tie it together. Something's happening. Might actually get this to work. It would be so shocking. I have 7 people watching. I see the 6 to 8 people watching. I just don't see if anyone's commenting, so maybe you're the only one who is commenting. All right, so the Santa hats are facing both ways, so here's how it looks with the jingle bell right there. This one. Hope you like it. And it does seem to be covering all of the gray of the board. I really like this, actually. I'm going to use the wire clippers for this, except I think I lost them. Here we go. I'm just going to have to turn this down here. Okay, so number 2, a white one. With, I'm just going to do these backwards. maybe I won't. Maybe I won't do them backwards. All right. And I will put a red bell through. And pull it. And then adjust the ribbons, because like I said, I'm not comfortable with doing this on the character board. This is only my second try on the character board. You do like it, Cassie? So, and the Easter bunny is just big fluffy curls all the way around, and then you make a bow, so it's much easier to do. I know a lot of you are Unique in the Creek users, much better at doing this than I am. All right, so that's with 2. I know it's upside down, so I'll get there to the part that's right side up. All right. Which one am I on? Gold. Okay. I was gonna put so many more different ribbons on here, and a lot of times I do on my other wreath designs. I do 4 different ribbons, but it just was not working with this. And I had to, you know, bring myself back down to reality and keep it simple. If you're wondering why my wreaths don't have bows on them, there are a couple reasons. And occasionally they do. All my cat wreaths have bows. The reason most of my wreaths don't have bows on them is because I'm not a huge fan of bows as the whole concept of the wreath, number one. They look beautiful when other people do them, but it's just not my overall style. A lot of people do them. They're beautiful. I have so many friends that have like the craziest, most beautiful bows on earth. And I love it when it's their wreath. The other reason is because I have not mastered the art of the bow. I'm not good at it. And mostly it's because I don't practice. Because when I do practice, I can actually make a good bow. But I'm more of a ribbon tails girl. I don't know if any of you saw my post the other day about how I can identify the maker of the wreath before I see their name. When there's a post on Facebook, I see a wreath before I look at the name, and I can almost always tell whose it is by the style of the bow, the way they place the ribbons, by just a million different things. And I bet people can always tell mine. I did just post a fall one that is really not my normal vibe. Here they are so far. I may or may not have to cut the ribbons shorter and arrange the curls so that they're not all over each other and covering the sign, but here it is so far. Let me know if you like it. All right. I'm about to drop that whole thing on the floor. It's crazy. I don't remember what color Jingle Bell I'm on. You do not remember. I think I'm on red. So I guess I'm maybe halfway around. You haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I posted that fall wreath today, and I actually made that with a kit picked out by Holly Hobbies. I don't know if any of you follow her. She has a great YouTube channel. She's done a few designs on Unique in the Creek products too, but she now has a partnership with TMI Gifts. So she picked out a bunch of different products to make a fall wreath. It's definitely not my comfort zone with all the pumpkins and whatnot. But I did it. I think maybe I want to turn these down a little bit so the bows work better. I will figure it out when I get to the other side. I guess we have quiet people today. We just have Cassie talking. That's okay. I would prefer if you give me comments, since otherwise I'm just to be talking to myself, which is entertaining, but it's not as entertaining as when I talk back to you. That's okay. Facebook only keeps lives up for 30 days, if you haven't noticed that. So this will be going on YouTube after, I don't know, I'll probably have it up there in a couple days. And I am working toward getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube so that I can go live on YouTube. I'm in the 300s right now, but I would really, really like to go live on YouTube. So if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. All right, I have 3 left. Sandra, you're my biggest fan. I can see. All right, I'm gonna make another curl for you in a second. So here's the white. Here's the ribbon. Here is a red jingle bell. They're stuck together. Here's a red jingle bell. So don't forget to say hi, and if you're looking at this later, please put hashtag replay so I know you watched it later. Or you can watch it on YouTube in a day or two if you prefer. All right, let me cut this and show it to you. To rearrange the poofs and the ribbons a tiny bit, and I will. But I might as well get all the way around. Okay. I should put them in the curl maker like this. That will be my next thing, to put them in the curl maker with the ribbons. That would have probably been a better idea. I did 2 race fan wreaths recently, and I will tell you, that I used pipe cleaners because I was using so many ribbons. On the ring board, I was using the ring board, and I was using so many ribbons that I did not think that I could handle doing it all together like I am now. Having a hard enough time now, but I'm getting there. We'll have to go out of our comfort zone, or every single wreath that we make will look exactly the same. And you know what? Some people, that's their thing. People buy it because it's consistent. I get bored if every single one of my wreaths looks the same. I don't know. This is really irritating me that I can't see the... Shannon McNally just joined. It's me. Okay. One more. Woo! Joy. Oh no, I don't have any more, do I? Yes, one more. I think I'm going to angle these curls down in a minute so that they aren't messing up all the ribbons. I am on red. I am putting a red jingle bell. Oops. One thing that I did not like about my plan today, you just started making wreaths so you enjoy learning from others. Listen, one of my favorite things to do is watch somebody live on either Facebook or YouTube. In fact, I think my friend Carla's Clever Crafts is probably live tonight. She has been on Fridays at 7. I'm gonna check when I'm done with this. I've learned so much from her. I learned so much from Unique in the Creek and Lori and all the other creators and Monkey's Creations. Carrie's Wreath Boutique, I don't know if she even makes videos anymore, but I learned all my petals from her. So I'm gonna turn these down a little instead of upright, because I think that's what I did in my practice round. Who else have I watched a lot of? Oh, obviously Julie's Wreath Boutique. That's what I meant, Julie's Wreath Boutique. She's actually a business coach for anyone who wants to be a content creator. I may turn these ribbons facing down as well. I'm just gonna tweak it, but I wanna see what it looks like first. Or I may cut them, maybe they're just too long. Turn this down. And then I will show you how I made the curls again, if you weren't here. So I already had forgotten exactly how I laid the pieces when I practiced. Clearly it wasn't a very good practice. Because everything is not really facing the right way now. So I'm gonna have to adjust. But I am almost done doing that. So normally I would have the curls pressed up against each other if I was just trying to make something really, really poofy and curly. But I'm kind of wanting this stuff not to cover the middle and to be able to see the ribbons. So I'm kind of turning the curls to face the outside. And then I'm also going to pull the ribbons to face the outside a little bit too. And that way it will not be all a big giant mess. I mean, it might be. I don't really know. I will tell you, when I first started making wreaths, they weren't even wreaths. They were hanger crafts. Anybody watches this on a replay, please tell me if you ever made hanger crafts. I made all the stars, the Star of Bethlehem, every kind of snowflake. I made everything. I could make anything out of hangers. So I don't know if anybody else did that. It was a craze. It was like Rainbow Loom for crafters. Like, there were hanger pages everywhere. There were YouTube videos everywhere for hangers. So somehow that's how I got started in wreath making, because after I got over making all of the hanger crafts and they weren't as popular, I was like, I'm gonna make a wreath. All right. And let's see how that looks. They're still a little smushed. they're still a little smushed. That's how we learn, though. We try things, and when it's a hot mess, we figure out how to make it better. All right, Cassandra D. Oops. Let's do this. As covering the thing, let's push this down and try one more time to show it to you. What do you think? And should I put some of these doodads in? I'm thinking not. But since I don't have any green, probably off camera, I will find a way to add this to tie it in to the wreath in the middle. What do you think? Do you like that, Cassie? Sorry, I'm kind of covering it up. And it has little berries and pine cones and the same leaves that are on the wreath in the middle of the sign. So I will attach this. I don't know if I'm gonna put it through a zip tie or glue it on. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of both, and I will post the final wreath when I am done. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know this was a short one. I'm just going to trim the ribbons a little bit and add this on and share it with you. Thank you. Oh, I'm looking at my iPad. This is how I do it.